Walking downtown and I'm okay. He's got it off.
Welcome to the second episode of our reading vlog. Today we will be reading the second book of the Hunger Games trilogy, which is, nakita ko lang to sa book sale. It's hardbound, so let's see it naked.
You're by my side.
Oh my! Ang cute. Kulang lang yung bilog niya, no? Para dun sa logo. It's so nice. And mostly babasahin ko siya nang wala yung book jacket kasi ayoko masira yung book jacket. Kapag kasi hardbound yung binabasa ko, tinatanggal ko talaga yung book jacket kasi ayoko siyang malukot. And ayoko siyang masira dahil pawisin yung kamay ko. So, tatanggalin natin siya. And I will read it like this. So, in this story, we will follow now the victors Katniss and Peeta. Ano na yung next step after winning the Hunger Games? Ano na ang susunod na mangyayari? So join me again and let's find out if this has the same strong impact like the Hunger Games.
Figure it out. It's what they all say. Yeah. Everyone's looking at me thinking that I'm different. Everyone's looking at me thinking that I'm living. But I don't really care what they all say. It's easier said than done. That guy problems with everyone, but it all comes down to you. You are my anxiety. More than a feeling.
So this is how she looks like, and the next step, I'm not so sure if I'm gonna do her hair, her clothes first, or I'm probably gonna position one more girl over here before I start doing the details, because I don't know if I'm gonna cover it up. But I feel like maybe it's nice to kind of do like an overlap. I'm not so sure, but we'll see. But that's how she looks like.
You were never meant for me, but now I gotta keep it. Walking downtown and I'm okay. Eyes on me, I don't know what to do, so I smile and I wave. Alright. Everyone's looking like they know what they're doing. Everyone's looking like they know what I'm pursuing. Trying not to give him the time of day. It's easier said than done. That guy problems with everyone, but it all comes down to you. You are my anxiety. It's more than a feeling. You were never meant for me, but now I gotta keep it. You are my anxiety. It's more than a feeling. You were never meant for me. Walking downtown and I'm okay. He's got it all figured out. It's what they all say, yeah. Everyone's looking at me thinking that I'm different. Everyone's looking at me thinking that I'm living. But I don't really care what they all say. It's easier said than done. That guy problems with everyone, but it all comes down to you. You are my anxiety. It's more than a feeling. You were never meant for me. Well, now I gotta keep it. Walking downtown and I'm okay. Eyes on me.
I was so surprised.
I don't know what to do, so I smile and I wave. Alright. Everyone's looking like they know what they're doing. Everyone's looking like they know what I'm pursuing. I'm trying not to give them the time of day. It's easier said than done. That guy problems with everyone, but it all comes down to you. You are my anxiety. It's more than a feeling. You were never meant for me. Well, now I gotta keep it. You are my anxiety. It's more than a feeling.
Update time! The victory tour is done. Ayun. So, tapos na yung victory tour. And Katniss and Pita are now back in District 12. And yeah, I'm on chapter 7. Look at this bookmark. Nakita ko to nung naglilinis ako. This was given by my principal in 2018. So, ayan. Useful. And, yeah. As you can see, marami na tayo ulit pink notes. So, ano-ano tong mga to? First note is this one. Something's happened to people and they're not equipped to deal with them. Tapos naalala ko yung joke namin dito sa bahay. Yung, hindi ko na-practice yun When you are caught by surprise. When a certain event happened, gano'n. Tapos di mo na pag-practicean. Tameme ka na lang. The full impact of what he's saying hits me. I will never have a life with Gil, even if I want to. I will never be allowed to live alone. I will have to be forever in love with Pita. Ayun, so nag-visit si President Snow sa bahay ni Katniss. Na-realize na nila na no, Katniss and Gale love team will not going to happen. Dahil kailangan nilang panindigan yung star-crossed lover act nila ni Pita when they were in the games. Kasi maraming mga tao na naniniwala na kakainin nila yung mga poisonous berries noong Hunger Games dahil ayaw nilang mabuhay mag-isa. Dahil Katniss cannot imagine life without Pita because she was madly in love. But for President Snow and other other people in other districts, they saw that as an act of rebellion. That Katniss has outsmarted the games, mocking President Snow. Alam niyo ba kung anong oras na? Malapit na mag-12 p.m. Kagigising ko lang. Ayun. Parang ito na yung bagong body clock ko. Yung buhay, what happened to my body clock? It's 11:40 a.m. Anyways, let's go back to our highlights. This one, a pair of peacekeepers dragging the old man who whistled to the top of the steps, forcing him to his knees before the crowd. and putting a bullet through his head. The Capitol, walang pinipili, no? Bata, matanda, lahat. Basta nagiging threat sa kanyang pamumuno, they will try everything to silence. Ay. Ayun, District 11 yung pinakauna nilang pinuntahan. Because usually, Victor Tour, nagsisimula siya sa 12 and then going to the Capitol. But since Katniss and Pita are from District 12, the streets are busy. So, since si Katniss and Pita are from District 12, biniskip muna nila yung District 12 and they started with District 11. And that for Victor Tour, and nag-stick na lang sila sa plan nila to go with the script given by the Capitol. At the end of the Victor Tour, President Snow was not convinced. So, fail. And then, we go to the dinner in the Capitol. Ang daming food. So, sobrang daming food. Itong mga privileged na tao na to are even drinking pills that will make them puke or vomit. Yung inom sila ng gamot na yan para masuka sila, para daw may space ulit yung tiyan nila. Sa bagay, we cannot tell them naman, we have to understand them. Wala kasi silang problem like poverty. Hindi naman nila iniisip yung food as source of nutrition. Food is mainly for entertainment for them. Unlike in District 12 na usong-uso ang poverty. Ay, nakaka-stress. Rich kid problems. Everyday, iniisip mo kung saan ka kuha ng makakain mo. Tapos itong mga tao na to, they will just drink pills para lang mag-vomit sila and they could intake more food. Although, hindi naman siguro kasalanan ng mga generation na to dahil the uprising, the rebellion started way before. 74th Hunger Games na nga, diba? In the previous book. So, 75th na in this book. So, yun. Naiintindihan ko yung mga rich kid. Not because I'm a rich kid. Naiintindihan ko naman na privileged talaga sila and that's their problem talaga. Yung anong kakainin sa dinner, anong flavor gusto nila ngayon, what to wear. And, what do you do ba with the resources you have? Di mo naman nakikita yung poverty. Buti sana kung nakikita mo yung poverty. Like Katniss, nakikita niya yung poverty. So, anong ginawa niya? Di ba? Nag-donate siya or nagbibigay siya ng food o to the community. But these people, hindi kasi sila exposed. So, I think it's also a time to shout out sa lahat ng mga rich kids natin dyan. Just explore. Just explore. Maybe just search the web kung yun na yung pinaka exploration na pwede mong gawin kasi bawal ka naman talaga lumabas these days. Dahil, minors. And vulnerable. But try to explore and see the world in the perspective of other people. And avoid maybe judging the poor of their actions. Kasi hindi naman nila yung ginusto. Hindi naman nila ginusto maging mahirap or ipanganak ng mahirap. And let's stop saying na ang hirap. Mahirap kayo kasi tamad kayo. Ganun lang yun. Bakit? Alam mo ba kung anong trabaho yung pinapasok nila para lang kumita ng makakain nila for this day, para lang masurvive ang araw na to, di ba? You don't know that. And you do not know that yet. But you can know. Pwede ka mag-explore. I'm not saying to go out of your way and go extra miles. Just try to read some articles. Maybe in the internet. Educate yourself. Natawa ko kay Pita. Parang nagiging team Pita na ako for this book. Ayan siya. Naranasan nyo na ba yung salita ka ng salita tapos talubat pala yung camera mo, hindi mo alam. So, kailangan ko pang panoorin yung huling footage na na-record ko. Tapos, okay, ganda lang siya. Nalubat pala siya. Kung sobrang na-carried away ka sa binabasa mo and sobrang na-carried away ka sa sinasabi mo and sa mga thoughts mo, dami mo kasing sinasabi, girl. Anyways, ayun. So, catch up. Nandito na tayo sa part ng pumunta na yung crew, yung prep team ni Katniss sa bahay nila. In-arrange na rin ni President Snow yung pagpapakasal ni Katniss. Ayaw na ni Katniss na mag-asawa. Kaya nga hindi naging sila officially ni Gale, kahit gustong-gusto niya si Gale and comfortable siya kay Gale. Ayaw niyang magkaroon ng sarili niyang family because she thought na kapag nagkaroon siya ng family, bilang magulang, hindi na siya pwedeng mag-volunteer na iligtas ang anak niya sa reaping day. So, iniisip niya na there will be a chance na yung anak niya ay mapipili din for Hunger Games and who knows. So, para maiwasan na lang yun, hindi na lang siya mag-aasawa. So, hindi niya pinapansin yung mga advances ni Gale. But, here comes Pita, na napaka-honest sa kanyang feelings and little by little nagugustuhan ko na siya. Para siyang si Pita yung parang paano ba yun? Mr. Right? Ayun. Si Pita para siyang si Mr. Right. Tapos si Gale, siya yung ideal man mo. Siya yung iniisip mo na magiging kayo. Like, you cannot think of a future without him. Tapos, or her. Tapos, siya yung pinapangarap mo. Siya yung makisig, ganun. Madiskarte sa buhay. Kahit mahirap lang kayo, feeling mo, kaya nyo lampasan yun. Ganun, napaka-ideal niya. And, napaka-rebellious din niya. Tapos, eto si Pita, the right amount of everything, the nice guy, Mr. Right nga eh. Minsan sa buhay natin, para tayong Katniss na pumipili sa ideal man natin o yung Mr. Nice guy who loves us so much. I've been there. Kayo ba? One point in our life, na-meet na natin yung ideal man natin na hindi siya perfect. Ideal lang siya. Kasi gusto mo siya. Like, you really think that you love that person na hindi ka talaga mabubuhay without that person. And he comes in different form and different sizes. But things happen. Life happens. And most of the time, hindi tayo nag-end together with our ideal man, but with the Mr. Right. So, in my case, ayan, share ko lang. In my case, fiancé ko, he's like Pita, he's Mr. Right, he's Mr. Nice guy, and it took 7 years, 6 years, para ma-wake up ako doon, and finally say yes to his proposal, and finally move on from that bitter moment in life na I have to accept na I will not be with my ideal guy. And nung tinanggap ko yun, we will not be together, I started to appreciate Mr. Nice Guy. And I started to appreciate Mr. Right. Kaya nga tawag ko na sa kanya ngayon, Mr. Right. Diba? Minsan kailangan din na hayaan muna. Tapos, tanggapin na rin that there are certain relationships na kahit gaano pa siya ka-ideal, gaano pa siya ka-sweet in the beginning, it comes to an end, and we just have to live with it. And someday, Mr. Right or Mr. Nice Guy will come to the rescue in different forms then, diba? So, feeling ko kaya read to eh. This book actually gives us different forms of love, different forms of romantic love, na it's not all the time gusto natin yung matutupad. Minsan kasi, iniisip lang natin na perfect yun para sa atin. But, there are many fishes in the sea. And, there are more deserving guys. Kasi minsan, nagsisettle tayo for less. But I tell you girls, and I will always tell you girls, that you deserve the best. And sabi nga sa Perks of Being a Wallflower, diba? We accept the love that we think we deserve. And I hope you will start realizing and accepting that you deserve the best. And that is Mr. Right. Not always ideal man.
know I gotta keep it.
Update! We're done with part 2 titled Quell, and this is the 75th Hunger Games, and oh my gosh! Everything is so intense. This book is well-paced. It's so intense. Ang daming angst, ang taas ng stakes. I'm starting to get really annoyed by President Snow. Why can't he just leave the children alone? So in this part, we have known ano yung pakulo nila for the 75th Hunger Games. Ang tawag kasi dito is quarter quell. A quarter quell is, from the word itself, celebrated every quarter, or that is every 25 years. May mga bagong pakulo sa Hunger Games, hindi lang siya basta-basta. Yung first quarter quell nila on the 25th of the Hunger Games, to remind everybody how awful the Capitol is and how dreadful it is when you stage a rebellion against Capitol. Ang ginawa nila noon, nagkaroon ng election. Sino-sino ang magiging tribute. So, yung mga parents and everyone else in the district would vote sino ba ang gusto nilang gawing tribute. Diba? Parang binoboto mo kung sino mang kapitbahay mo yung gusto mong mamatay sa games. And that's really awful. And then, on the 50th year of Hunger Games, ito yung Hunger Games kung saan nanalo si Haymitch. Ang pakulo naman nila doon, 2 times the number of tributes ang drawn from pool of children, age 12 to 18. Instead of having 24 competitors para dun sa Hunger Games, they had 48. Yun. So, it was the year where Haymitch found, and in this chapter, yun, nalaman na natin ano yung pakulo nila for the 75th Hunger Games. And kung hindi ka pa familiar sa Hunger Games, better to skip now kasi spoiler na to. Bye-bye! Hunger Games was published 10 years ago. Kung sino man nanonood ng video na to, we have heard a thing or two about Hunger Games. Maybe we have already watched the movie. Kaya, I think it's safe naman to give some spoilery reviews or spoilery updates. So, going back, on the 75th Hunger Games, ang pakulo nila is they will draw tributes from the pool of victors. Sabi nga ni President Snow, as a reminder to the rebels that even the strongest among them cannot overcome the power of the Capitol. The male and female tributes will be ripped from their existing pool of victors. I am starting to like Pita. Nagiging team Pita na ako kasi nawawalan na talaga sa picture si Gail, and I have to acknowledge na Pita is really a compassionate person and quick-witted. I'm slowly getting drawn to Pita. Sabi ko nga, di ba, he's Mr. Right. So, yun. And my favorite character so far is Sina. Sina is just so precious. Parang gusto ko magkaroon ng friend like Sina. Ang brainy niya, and I'm really into fashion, and gustong-gusto ko yung quote niya before everything went downhill with his life. Pero sabi nga niya, di ba, we have our own forms of rebellion. Hindi lang nasa daan ka and you're outright speaking against the government or against the system that you are rebelling. Meron ding other silent forms and creative forms of rebellion. And Sina's form of rebellion is through art, through fashion. Nagpa-fashion siya ng mga damit, gowns, and costumes ni Katniss to show what side he is in. Dahil nga, in these times, walang neutral. Ito yung favorite quote ko from Sina. Don't worry. I'll always channel my emotions into my work. That way, I don't hurt anyone but myself. Actually, kung hindi lang ako nag-film sa sala, siguro nung binabasa ko yung part na to, naiyak na talaga ako kasi nangingilid yung luha ko. Sina has become really precious to me. Na-attach na ako sa kanya. Since Hunger Games, na-amaze ako sa mga designs niya when I read about the descriptions. Napaka-vivid, lalo na si Susan Collins kapag nagsulat siya, napaka-vivid ng mga descriptions. And simple, kaya agad-agad nakakapag-paint ka ng picture sa isip mo. And yeah, I love Sina. And it broke my heart what happened to him. President Snow! Nakakagigil ka. My favorite part so far is actually 2 parts. Yung first part na favorite ko, yung wedding gown ni Katniss that when she twirled, it turned into a black Mockingjay inspired costume / gown, and that's Sina's form of rebellion. And that's so... And the second part is yung interview din na part where the victors lined up on the stage and they formed one straight line and they staged their own uprising against the Capitol, against President Snow. And sabi nga, di ba, like, we are stronger together. We victors staged our own uprising, and maybe, just maybe, the Capitol won't be able to contain this one. Diba? Kung magsasama-sama lang lahat ng mga idol natin, lahat ng mga amazing people, and a lot of other philanthropies, if we will all join in one fight, and in solidarity we stand, I think we can do great things. Diba? We can do great things together. This book makes me feel a lot of feels. Ang daming angst, ang intense, and I'm really loving it. And ang bilis ko siyang basahin kasi look, dito na nga ako. Dito na ako. And matatapos ko na siya mamaya. I think. Mamaya. Yun muna ang update natin because we're now down to part 3. And that is the enemy. Sabi nga ni Haymitch, when you're in the arena, remember who the enemy is. Let's read more. We have finished the Catching Fire. Ang dami natin ginawa, puro puyat. Like, within this week, actually, nag-a-adjust ako dahil sa aking second job. And nakita nyo naman sa mga footage, more on encoding. Ayan, because I have a lot of free time and I don't know, my body clock is just not working nowadays. Nakiki-crazy din siya in these crazy times. So, I have opted to look for other avenues na magamit ko yung time ko productively. Aside from reading and booktube. At yun na nga, na-late na tuloy tayo sa pag-e-edit ng mga videos natin. So, I think this video will be baka abutan na to ng wikathon. And sana hindi, pero I don't think I can commit. Pero yun. Anyways, we're still done. And my favorite character in this book is actually Sina. And sabi ko, nung Hunger Games, favorite character ko was Katniss. Actually, Katniss, mas trip ko ngayon si Sina. Sina is a side character. He is the one who designed all of Katniss's gowns, and sabi ko nga ay napaka-inclined ko, napaka-interested ko sa fashion, so I'm really interested when it comes to the designs of Sina, yung mga transforming na gowns and all. Those are so fascinating na sana one day I could also do that, di ba? And itong si Katniss, no, parang nakikita ko yung sarili ko sa kanya, yung hinahanapan siya ng talent ng Capitol, tapos sabi niya, he's not good in anything aside from hunting. parang ako, sabi ko, I'm not good in anything aside from reading and writing. Hindi ko man nga ma-showcase yun, diba? So, buti na lang, may Booktube. Thank you for this platform and thank you so much sa lahat ng mga nagtitiis, sa lahat ng mga nanonood ng videos ko. I really want to thank you guys and sana na-encourage ko kayong magbasa. Sana nakakapag-recommend ako ng mga books na hindi nyo pa narinig or rarely hear reviews about. Kasi nung simula nanonood ako ng Booktube since last year, yung mga books na binabasa nila are so popular that I haven't read like most of them, and most of the books that I have read ay hindi talked about much in this community, and that is one of my goals in this Booktube channel, to talk about underrated books, to talk about books that are worth the supposed hype that they have. So I would like to hype them as much as people would hype these popular books. Ayun. So, going back to Catching Fire. Catching Fire, yeah, see now my favorite character. My least favorite character still the Capital, but more on President Snow now. Kasi I don't know, para siyang para siyang matanda na pumapatol sa bata just to keep his power, parang ganon. So, napaka-vile niya. Wala pa akong backstory sa kanya, but I don't like him. Kasi pinapatulan niya si Katniss, and Katniss is just a girl. Diba? 17 years old. Parang nakasalalay talaga dito sa 17-year-old girl yung nation na nililid mo. So this is one of the sequel that I liked. Kasi it can stand on its own. Hindi siya for the sake of may ma-publish lang si author, ganon. So, that's why I really enjoyed it. I'm still attracted to Finnick Odair. He's just a gentleman. When a man would care about old people, I think that's a good and attractive characteristic of somebody when they care about old people. So, having said that, my heart goes to that part. Actually, I was emotional nung nabasa ko yung part na there was this old guy or old man who was shot dead during the Victor's tour nila Katniss and Pita in District 11. And I was really emotional, and we will stop there. Baka umiyak na naman ako. The writing style, siguro yung writing style kasi napaka-simple niya and napaka-relatable niya. When you're somebody who is more inclined to simple prose, yun. So I think the prose here is very readable para sa mga hesitant readers. And this is a good sequel kasi it introduced the third book in the series well. Kasi nag-set siya agad ng mood for the book 3. And if you're looking for a book that will pick up your interest in social-political issues and discussion, you may want to pick up this book and include this in your TBR, especially nowadays when the pandemic is keeping us all locked inside our house, safe inside our house. So, highly recommended. Catching Fire by Suzanne Collab. Flex ko lang yung aking J-pin ko. That's it for this video. If you like this reading vlog, please don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you will get notified whenever I post a new video. Happy reading!